Taylor Swift is performing in Singapore. We negotiated, our agencies negotiated an arrangement with her to come to Singapore and perform and to make Singapore her only stop in Southeast Asia. And there was a certain incentives provided to her from our Tourism Development Fund. It really is a post-COVID fund to revive tourism after COVID. And a deal was reached. And so it has turned out to be a very successful arrangement. I don't see that as being unfriendly. Sometimes one country makes a deal, sometimes another country does. I don't explicitly see you say you will come here only on condition that you will go other places. She came to Sydney. I think she had a very successful concert in Sydney. I don't know what the arrangements were, but I'm sure that mutually acceptable, sensible arrangements were made. And if that's what's needed to be done to get an outcome which is mutually beneficial and which from Singapore's point of view serves not just to grow the economy but also to bring in visitors and goodwill from all over the region, I don't see why not. I mean, if we had not made such an arrangement, would she have come to someplace else in Southeast Asia or more places in Southeast Asia? Maybe, maybe not.
If you live in Asia, especially in Southeast Asia, then you must have seen the anger and frustration shared by the people in Southeast Asia about Taylor Swift and Singapore. In fact, the betrayal by the Singaporean government together with Taylor Swift has angered a lot of people. In fact, people are still angry for weeks now. No one is able or no one is willing to let this pass by because they cannot believe that Taylor Swift will choose money over fans. She has always said that her fans are her number one priority, and she will always favor the fans every day, every time. Because remember, the fans are the ones that got her where she is. And she has promised to always put them first. But I guess, sometimes you got to make money, right? You got to make money. So, as a Swiftie, who I am also totally disappointed at Taylor Swift. Totally disappointed. But you know what? There's no point for me to be too hard on her. There's no point for me to be too harsh without hearing the full story. So, let's watch this video from CNN that explains the whole thing. Maybe from the video, we might understand the reason why Taylor Swift did what she did. Let's watch the video.
Singapore's neighbors are upset amid allegations that the city-state paid up to $3 million a show for an exclusive deal to secure Taylor Swift and her blockbuster Eras tour. And today we heard from Singapore's culture minister who addressed Parliament on the controversy. And he said that the grant is not as high as speculated. Now, let's walk through the timeline here. Now, last week we heard from a lawmaker in the Philippines who called on his country to put the pressure on Singapore for an explanation. Joey Salceda said this. Let's bring it up for you. Quote, "This isn't what good neighbors do." He goes on to say it was at the expense of neighboring countries which could not attract their own foreign concert goers and whose fans had to go to Singapore, unquote. The allegations were first made public by the Thai Prime Minister, Srettha Thavisin, when he spoke at a business forum in Bangkok on February the 16th. And he said that Singapore paid Taylor Swift up to $3 million per show, allegedly on condition of exclusivity for a Singapore-only arrangement in Southeast Asia. And Srettha also said this, let's bring it up for you, quote, "If I'd known this, I would have brought the shows to Thailand," unquote. Now, I want to add that we are awaiting comment from Taylor Swift's team, including her concert promoter. Now, Singapore said it did award Taylor Swift a grant to perform there, but it did not confirm the exclusivity clause. And today, we heard from its culture minister, Edward Tong, who made fresh comments about this controversial grant, saying this, let's bring it up for you, quote, "There has been some online speculation as to the size of the grant. I can say that it is not accurate and not anywhere as high as speculated," unquote. And then, citing confidentiality reasons, he didn't reveal the size or the conditions of the grant. Now, this week, Taylor Swift is playing in Singapore. She's playing 6 sold-out concerts to some 300,000 fans there. It's her only stop in Southeast Asia. And Singapore is getting a massive economic boost here. According to an economist at Maybank, 7 out of 10 concert goers are coming into Singapore from overseas, and they're spending up to $370 million in the city-state.
Oh, so it was about the money. I thought there was something way more important, but I guess it's always about the money, right? It's always about the money. So if you ever thought that your favorite model or your favorite artist or your favorite superstar puts you first above money, then I guess the actions of Taylor Swift would change your mind. Yeah, her actions will change your mind because she has a lot of fans in Southeast Asia. And for her to sign this exclusive deal with Singapore for an additional sum of $3 million, allegedly, is something that should get you thinking. It's something that should make you understand where her allegiance is. But then again, in all fairness, right, those private jets won't fuel themselves, isn't it? Those private jets required money to fuel them, to maintain them, right? To keep them up to date, they required money. The mansion, I don't know if it is in California or in Malibu or wherever it is, those mansions required money for maintenance. They won't maintain themselves. So Taylor Swift has got to squeeze as much dollar as she can right now because she is at the top of her game. So she has got to make the best out of it. So for all of you guys who are having tantrum, who are having a feast, who are saying, Taylor Swift this, Taylor Swift that, remember, it wasn't about you. It has never been about you. And it is not about you. It's all about Taylor Swift and how much money she can make. So if you care, burn all your Taylor Swift designer clothes or bags or shoes or t-shirt. Burn them all if you can, if you want. If you want, even stage a protest. That wouldn't make any difference. Taylor Swift has gotten what she wanted, right? She's making the big buck. And there's nothing any of us can do. And just so, on a side note, this one is just like an advice. Okay? Because you can listen to the Ministry of Culture, the Singaporean Minister of Culture, saying that, well, the $3 million commission or additional money they gave to her, allegedly, isn't that amount. And that the amount that is being floated on the internet is not exactly the right amount. But we cannot tell you how much we gave her. It's like this, okay? What you guys are thinking is the amount we gave to her is not the real amount. You guys are mistaken. And whoever that is floating with this idea that we gave her $3 million per show, allegedly, that person is mistaken. That person is misinforming you guys. But for some reason, we cannot tell you how much we gave her. Maybe we gave her 10 million or we gave her 5 million, or we gave her 2 million, or nothing. Maybe not. But the the amount you guys are angry about is not really the right amount. But unfortunately for us, we cannot tell you the right amount. So what we are saying is what you guys are thinking is not exactly what it is. But we cannot tell you what it is. So let me just say this one more thing. Okay. Singapore has got to do what is good for them. Singapore is a sovereign state. They need to look out for themselves. And if they thought that having an exclusive deal with Taylor Swift was going to bring more Benjamin on them, then good for them. Good for them for thinking that way. If they are willing to give Taylor Swift $3 million additional just so she can perform only in Singapore, and then they will be able to make 10 or 20 million from each show, then they win. They win. So you cannot really blame them. They have to do what is best for them. The only person you can blame in this whole discussion is Taylor Swift, because she has the right to say, no, I don't want this exclusive deal with Singapore because I want to perform in many other countries in Southeast Asia because I got fans in these countries. So Taylor Swift is the one who was supposed to make this decision by telling Singapore that I cannot do an exclusive deal with you guys because I have fans in the other 9 ASEAN countries. And I would love to perform in those countries because I have fans there. But I guess she values money more than the fans. And so she chose what she thought is more valuable to her. Kudos to her. Kudos to her. And last thing, I do not get the obsession about Taylor Swift performing in Singapore. I do not get the obsession. I do not understand why people are so obsessing about this or angry about it. It's just a performance. She comes there, she performs, and she goes. End of story. That's just it. So, my brothers and sisters, do not worry about it. Just let her make her money and be happy with herself. After all, she needs a lot of money. So, she has to grab as much as she can. But you guys out there, are you a fans of Taylor Swift? If you are you disappointed with the fact that she chooses money over fans? That she chooses to have an exclusive deal with Singapore, by so doing, abandoning the fans in next door countries like Thailand and the Philippines? And if you were the one in her position, would you accept the same deal or maybe choose something different from the one she chose? Let us know in the comment section below, because like always, we love hearing what you have to say. Please don't forget to like this video, share this video, subscribe to this channel, because that helps us a lot and we shall forever be grateful to you. So thank you very much for doing just that, and like always, see you in the next one.